nothing happens. Best time to take action is now.
This is the time to work on you and your business.
So I've created a group,
An online academy for professionals and entrepreneurs. Power Partners will help you
to start helping yourself.
Helped me change my life and my business.
Not a Toastmasters, it's not a BNI, it's not any of these, but it is. So it's all this stuff in one place.
Get the results that you deserve right now. So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
see you in Power Partners.
And although it may seem a little mundane, packing up boxes and, being on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today, they know we're coming tomorrow, and they look forward to seeing us because we're the one little bit of hope that they have to have a warm meal in their bellies and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone, because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big, and it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Buffalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.
My body becomes like a cement. Oh my God.
That was the better one.
Okay. Oh my God. It's like magic. Literally like magic.
everyone. Welcome to Pursuing Profit with Principles. So great to see you this morning. Wish I could actually see you, but it's good to know that you're here and hopefully you are enjoying our show each week. I want to ask you, if are you a small business owner and do you struggle with getting the word out to your ideal prospects? Do you struggle with maintaining consistent conversation with them when they're not in your business, when maybe you don't have a storefront at all? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but how do you stay in touch with those prospects as well as your customers? Well, this morning I have some answers for you. Actually, I don't have the answers. I'm going to ask somebody else to tell the answers. So let me tell you a little bit about my guest this morning. My guest this morning is Barbara Sayers. And Barb is an accomplished businesswoman, having had several successful businesses, both in network marketing as well as her own solopreneur businesses. Her passion is writing. And I can tell you this, I've known this woman all of my life, not all of hers, but all of mine. Her passion is writing, and she's been passionate about that since she was a child. And it shows in her customized, creative, non-cookie cutter emails that she creates for people. Her business is done for you email campaigns done right. And she is your outsourced email expert. So Barb, whoops, she had to step away there for a second. Barb, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am wonderful this morning. It's a Monday morning, and as you know, Mondays are one of my favorite days of the week. And most people say, "What? It's Monday. That can't be your favorite day of the week." But it is one of mine. It's kind of like New Year to me. It's new beginnings. It's an opportunity to start over again. Every Monday morning, you get that opportunity to start all over again in your business. And I love that. So, Barb, welcome, and let's dive right in because we have a short amount of time and we really want to get as much in about what you're doing as possible.
Well,
So
thank you.
tell us a little bit of your background, a little bit of your journey to getting where you are now, and who you're serving and why that's important to you.
Oh, okay. So I've always loved to write. I can remember being, these things aren't working. Sorry.
We can hear you.
Okay,
We can
good.
hear you.
So I've always loved to write. And I can remember back when I was about 12 years old or so, I wrote a song and I sent it into a company. And they said they liked it and wanted to work with it, but they needed money to go forward. And our family wasn't in a position to do that. So although that hope was dashed, it kindled a spark in me, to keep writing. And I guess what I've done most in my life is writing poems about really any subject. I've written poems for people who were retiring from my workplace. I've written birthday poems. I've written, if you want to say, sympathy poems to try and help people get through that grief period when someone passes. And then I started writing for the businesses that I worked in. They soon realized that I was good at writing and they used me to write things for their businesses. I helped write a procedures manual, if you will, a buyer's and seller's manual for a real estate company I worked with. I wrote a performance evaluation, how to fill it out. For supervisors. Now I'm the employee and I wrote to the supervisors how to do this. And they made it a regional policy. So this just to say that I'm kind of good at what I do. So Back in 2014, in November, I was sitting at my dining room table and the phone rang, and it was my sister. And she said, "How would you like to go into business together?" And having been in business with her before, knowing that she's a consummate business person, I didn't hesitate. I just said, "Sure, what are we doing?" So she had just watched a webinar or attended a webinar. And at the end of it, the fellow who did the webinar was talking about another program that he had for email marketing. Knowing that I love to write, she asked me would I like to do that and go into business with her. So I said, "Sure, let's do it. I love to write." And over time, we got so excited about having a business together, and we kept adding this thing and adding the other thing and adding the other thing, and it soon got away from writing emails. And for a while, I got sidetracked doing business coaching, which I loved, but my passion is writing. So I would say just about maybe 6 months ago or so, I decided to refocus, get back to my passion, and do email marketing again.
Awesome.
So I'm excited to be doing that.
Very good.
And who I serve is, mostly female, but I don't exclude the guys. But I seem to attract women.
Yeah.
And,
Ditto.
right. So in 40s, 50s, and 60s, they've been in business for a while. They've had success. They've hit that 6-figure mark. They want to reach that 250K, and it just eludes them. They just can't get there. They're kind of plateaued.
Mm-hmm.
They want to scale. They don't know how, or whatever they've done so far hasn't worked. And they're frustrated. They're juggling all the hats. They've got where they're at through their own sweat and grind and grit. And they're good at what they do. They know if they can get someone on the phone, get into a conversation, they can turn them into a client.
Right.
But then they're on that roller coaster, making the calls, getting the appointments, serving them, and then running out of clients again, and keep going on this roller coaster.
Yes. Yes. Haven't we all experienced that, folks?
Yeah.
Too many of us.
It's typical. And we don't know how to get off that roller coaster.
Yeah.
So part of how you do that is to outsource some things.
Yes. Now,
there's all sorts of things you can outsource. But these women are good at what they do. They're service-based professionals that you need a service call in order to get a client. So if they could just fill that calendar with these appointments
and keep it full,
roller coaster would level out, right?
Exactly. Fill it up and keep it full. Yeah.
That's what I help them do. I do the heavy lifting of getting those appointments for them so that they can just do what they are good at.
Now, let me clarify just for a second there. When you say you do the heavy lifting of getting the appointments, I mean, you're not actually scheduling appointments. You're crafting the emails that get those appointments scheduled. Got it. Just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. And what a valuable service that is to many small business owners. So many of us struggle in that area and struggle. It's like I've always considered myself a good writer in a lot of ways, in a more formal, businessy kind of way.
Right.
And it's been a real hard transition for me to take that talent and move it into actually like a storytelling email kind of focus. And I'm presuming yours is more storytelling as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's been a really difficult thing for me to transition to. So my business writing skills are not translating well to email campaigns. You would think it would, but it doesn't.
You're beating yourself on the head. You're spending time, dozens and dozens of hours and tens of thousands of dollars in trying to do it all yourself.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Not just the inability to express things in that way, but yeah, trying to do it all yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me take the pressure off.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I suppose we ought to give our audience just a little bit more since we've teased this a little bit today. So first of all, tell us the name of your company, Barb. Well, I mean, we've done your business is done for you, email campaigns done right. But you talked about you and your sister starting a business. Right. What was the name of that business?
My actual LLC is Sister to Sister Enterprises, because I wanted the name of my business to reflect that I was working with my sister.
Yeah.
And I think that may be a large part of why I attract women, sister to sister.
Oh, yeah, probably so.
Yeah. And
we are all sisters.
The done for you email campaigns done right is a DBA of Sister to Sister Enterprises. And drum roll, that sister that I mentioned is none other than Regina Bergman.
Guilty as charged.
I think we did a good job of hiding that to begin with.
I think we did. We hid that for a little while there. Yeah, we managed almost probably, I don't know, a few minutes anyway. And this is why I said, folks, I've known her all my life, but she's my big sis. And so, she hasn't known me all of her life, but I've known her all of my life.
Right.
But and we have done things together before in business.
Yeah.
She mentioned that she was successful in network marketing companies, and she introduced me years ago to Mary Kay Cosmetics, and that was a really good experience in my life, being a part of Mary Kay. Really respected and admired her as a person, and enjoyed my time in that company, and that was my first venture into network marketing of any kind, and really enjoyed it. Okay, so Barb, let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing here. What are some of the things? We talked about getting off the roller coaster. You mentioned that roller coaster that we get on. So how does what you do play into, how does that eliminate the roller coaster?
So if you just had a way to keep that calendar filled up, you wouldn't have to have that dry spell where you're reaching out, prospecting, getting those calls before you can serve the client. If you could just get that calendar filled up, now all you have to do is serve the client, and you're on a more level, not playing field, a more level ride. Right.
Not so many ups and downs, right?
Exactly.
Because it is true. Too many of us, we work really hard at getting appointments on the calendar, and then we stop doing that and fulfill on those customers that we've just gotten. And then when we've done that fulfillment, now we're out hungry again, looking for more customers.
Exactly.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the consistency of your email campaigns and having one always in place is what helps eliminate that roller coaster.
Right. And there's different categories, if you will, of campaigns that we can do. So where we're talking right now about filling your calendar up. Of course, that's one, to get people interested in what you're doing and having them reach out to you. Then
Right.
there's also the follow-up. If you're constantly serving new clients and not paying attention to your old clients, you're losing both reputation and revenue.
Yep.
Because a satisfied customer will come back and do business with you again if
And
you
tell
just
others.
stay in touch and tell
And
others.
tell others.
Right.
So, and I think that's a really important point, is so many times we tend to ignore what's in our database. And we get on this lead hamster wheel. I got to have leads. I got to have leads. I got to have leads. And the truth of the matter is, leads may not at all be what you need in your business. If you
where are
have
you
a
getting
good
those
client
leads from?
base, if you have a good client base already, that you need to nurture that base
Mm-hmm.
and get them to buy more frequently. Get them, sell more items to them.
As well as getting new clients. So, so
As
there's
well as getting new clients. Yeah,
right.
absolutely. But they're a tandem, not an either or.
Right.
And we often forget of the gold mine we already have while we're out there seeking new gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kind of reminded of that Acres of Diamonds.
Yes.
From years ago. Who put that out? Who wrote that? I can't remember. Who wrote Acres of Diamonds, folks? Somebody let me know.
I don't know. It's an old one, that's for sure.
Yeah. But that, we have diamonds in our backyard. We just don't recognize them because we're not seeing them as a diamond.
Right. And the story goes that this guy sold his property because he, had this grass is greener mentality and went searching for a fortune. And when in fact, his own property had a diamond mine.
Acres of diamonds. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that happens with us. We, as you said, in our own backyard, we've got all these people we've worked with before.
Right.
People that know, trust, and like us.
Yeah.
That we're just ignoring because we're reaching for that ever elusive, Apple or Ring or whatever.
Whatever it is. Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Barb. We hear the term segmenting your email list.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an area that you deal with at all? And or does that only come in terms of they have their list segmented into different things and then you write appropriate to those segments? Or do you get involved with that segmentation at all?
I can actually help them with that. And, it's just another thing that you can take off your plate and let someone else do for you.
Yeah.
Or do in tandem with someone who knows how.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's kind of help folks who may not be familiar with that term. Let's help them understand that a little bit. So you may have an email list of 3,000 people or 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever, but that doesn't mean that every email you write needs to go out to every person on that list. Right? So that list gets segmented or broken up into
Your
areas.
list may contain current clients and prospects.
Correct.
So if you're doing a prospecting campaign, you don't want to send it to the clients you already have.
Right.
That's an example.
And then it could also be segmented based on interest, correct? Mm-hmm. People that have responded to certain kinds of things could be one segment of the market, and people who've responded to something else could be another segment.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so the segmentation itself, in terms of segmenting their list, is not something you do, but you write content appropriate to the segments that they have.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to be
because I wouldn't know their list, so I couldn't
Exactly.
actually do the segmenting.
So what do they give you for you to know what to write for them? What kinds of things do you have to know about their audience in order to write the correct email? Because as we mentioned, it's these are not cookie cutter emails, they're customized. So what do you have to know from them in order to serve them the best, in order to write the best
I have
material?
a 6-step roadmap, if you will.
Okay.
First thing is we hop on a call to see if we're a good fit, to see
Right.
if what I do would be beneficial for your business. And if we're a fit, then the second step is we hop on another call and I do a deep dive into your business,
Okay.
into your goals, both professionally and personally, your vision, your mission, a real deep dive. And then the third step is I get busy and do market research.
Okay.
On your company, on your competitors, on your industry. So I really go in depth to know more about all the things that make your business and your industry tick, right?
Right.
So that I know what triggers to hit when I'm writing. And then when I have all that together, then I forget which step we're on now, but anyway.
4. Number
Okay.
4.
Okay. Then I plan and create the actual email series. I get busy and get that written. And then the next step is it goes out to your list.
Okay.
And that's where the magic happens. Because now this leads to shorter sales cycles because you have more conversions. So that shortens the sales cycle. And that leads to increased revenue.
Like that. Don't you like that, folks?
And then rinse and repeat,
Got it.
When you need more clients, when you need more prospects, when you need more follow-up, when you just need to stay in touch with that tribe, do another campaign.
How often do you recommend that people send out emails? We hear anything from multiple times a day to once a week to once a month to anything and everything in between and above and beyond. What's your recommendation? Or is it based upon the campaign? Is it or what determines what that looks like?
You may not have heard this, but it's really a marketing secret, if you will. Your people want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can email them too often.
Okay, so what does that mean? What does that translate to?
I think a minimum that you should do would be 3 times a week. More than that, if you can.
Okay.
Our campaign will be anywhere from, say, 15 to 25 emails that goes out over a 2-week period.
Okay.
And then, every 2 weeks you can run a new campaign for a different segment of your list.
Okay.
Or for a different purpose.
Right.
So one campaign might be to actually sell your product.
Right.
One might just be to get people interested to call you and talk more about it. So,
right.
But to the clients you already have, you might just want to hit them with a sale because they know, like, and trust you already. Whatever you
right.
have, they're interested in. And
yeah.
You're leaving money on the table. Who was it? Oh, crumbs. I can't think of his name now.
That's okay. Tell us what he said. We'll give him credit later.
Yeah. Anyway, you get that low-hanging fruit the first time around.
Right.
But then there's 30% of that audience is interested, but just not today.
Yeah.
And 30% of that audience isn't interested and could care less.
Right. Right.
But you won't know that until you stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
And John Assaraf and T.R. Garland and probably plenty more say you never get rid of someone on your list, whether they buy or not, unless they die or tell you to take me off your list. You just keep sending them stuff.
You and I were in a John Assaraf class back in late 2014, early 2015 in San Diego. And I remember, I'm not sure if I asked that question or somebody else in the class did about, how long do you leave them on the list? And he said, until they die or ask to be removed.
Exactly. Because you don't know if they're just one of that 30% that's just not ready right now.
Well, and not only that, but they're the group that are the lurkers. They're not vocal. They're not responding, but they're hanging on to every word. They're watching. They're listening. They're taking it all in. And when they're ready to act, that's when you'll hear from them. Exactly. And so if you only keep on the people who are active with you, you're going to eliminate those lurkers, those people who are really interested, but not vocal.
Right. And if you're not staying in touch with them, they're going to listen to someone else.
They're going to listen to someone else. And there's plenty of people out there to listen to. Yeah.
Good, absolutely. Bad, and indifferent.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Well, Barb, it has been a real pleasure to have you on this morning and learn some more about this. This is such a key ingredient to business today. We hear people say that email is dead. Email is not dead. Email is still a very vital part, should be a vital part of your marketing and your working with your customers and getting them to stay with you, getting them to continue to purchase from you. Email is a valuable, valuable tool for that. Any last words, Barb? Last comment? Any last bit of wisdom you'd like to share before we sign off here?
Well, now I hadn't thought about that. So take a look at your list and see if you can segment it. Those that have really shown interest by purchasing from you before, those that are following you regularly but may not have purchased yet, and those that you haven't heard from for a long time. That's a good way to start the segmentation. And then, devise a way to stay in touch with them, whether that's through email marketing or something else. Devise a way to stay in touch.
Right. And folks, if you want to get in touch with Barb, you can reach her at sister2sister@gmail.com. We'll get you Barb. Barb, thanks again.
Thank you
for being here this morning and sharing your knowledge and wisdom about email marketing.
It's been my privilege. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And you have an amazing day. And everyone out there, have an amazing day. We'll see you next time on Pursuing Profit with Principles. Bye for now.
If you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with WendyY Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, WendyY Bailey.
everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with WendyY Bailey. I am indeed WendyY Bailey, and I'm excited to bring to you another bonus episode. Today's episode is all about what you must know to sell coaching. Now, I didn't have enough room in the banner, but we're going to talk about your coaching program, services, packages, and products. I want to be sure that you understand, walking away from this conversation, what it really is you're selling if you're a coach, because a lot of coaches don't know what they're really selling. So hopefully you'll gain a lot from that. Let me introduce myself a little bit to those of you who do not know me. I'm WendyY Bailey. Everyone calls me WendyY, and I'm a master business and sales coach. I've been in my business as a full-time entrepreneur and coach for more than 19 years, and I show coaches how to master business. Sometimes it's infrastructure that includes processes and systems and tools and applications. Sometimes it's marketing. So we talk about visibility and marketplace influence. And sometimes it's about sales conversations. I call it sales conversations that convert to cash, because what I'm really helping them with is understand not just the one-on-one conversation, but the one-to-many conversations that include writing copy and writing your email so that you're connecting and making a deeper connection with your most ideal clients. I'm broadcasting across my Facebook platform, so Facebook page, profile, 2 of my private Facebook groups. I'm also broadcasting on YouTube, my personal YouTube channel, which has a lot of content there as well. So if you're here and you're on Facebook, be sure to grant StreamYard permission so that you can actually post your comments and I see your comments. If you're on LinkedIn or if you're on any of the other platforms I mentioned, type hashtag replay to let me know if you're watching the replay, but leave your comments or tell me your thoughts about this episode and the content I'm going to be sharing. When I talk about what you must know about how to sell coaching, coaching is really very much about the transformation that you're creating for your clients. Okay. So understanding transformation is a key part of what you have to do when you're selling coaching. You must know what that transformation is. Oh, I missed something. If you miss any of the episode, you can go watch it in full or listen to it at profitablecoachingconversations.com. That's profitablecoachingconversations.com. So let's talk a little bit about what you must know. The first thing that you must know is that your coaching offers a solution. So if you're creating a package, if you have a service, if you have a program, if you have a do-it-yourself handout, a lead magnet, a subscribe, bribe, an irresistible free offer, whatever you want to call it, if you are offering something, it has to be a solution to a problem. What I see a lot of coaches do is they say, oh, I'm going to give them 5 this, or I'm going to create something that gives them 10 that. And if it doesn't respond to a problem, it doesn't offer a solution, then you've missed the mark on how rich that content can really be for your clients. So when you think about a solution that you want to offer, think about what you write, what you say, what your videos are about, what your audios are about, what your webinars are speaking to. Everything you create in terms of content must be a solution. That's the difference between coaching and some other things. You're creating a solution. So make sure that whatever you created, it does respond to a particular problem. That's the next thing. Your solution must be focused on the problem. The thing that I've learned in more than 19 years is people come to me because they have a challenge. They have a problem. Something isn't working in their lives. They're lacking something. And so if I talk to someone long enough, a potential client, I can actually jot down a list of things that they've presented to me as potential problems. The beauty of coaching is you can create a solution that's focused on each and every problem your ideal client presents. And when you focus on that, you end up being like me, where I have tons of lead magnets. I have about 25 lead magnets. They're not all active. I have about 7 programs that I've delivered. I've got a new program that I'm working on creating. And I've got so much content that I have a content warehouse that I use, a vault for everything. Remember, if you're joining me on any of the platforms, be sure to say hi and let me know that you're there. If you're on Facebook, grant StreamYard permission so that I can see your comments. I can see that you're there. Just wave at me and say hi. Or if you are watching the replay, type hashtag replay and let me know. So when you have an ideal client who has multiple problems or challenges, it's really okay that you make note of them, because it gives you an entree into the next opportunity to provide a solution to the client. So coaching is about making sure you're offering solutions, and your solutions are focused on a problem, one problem at a time. And then it also means that your solution produces transformation for your client. It's not enough for you to just take them through your content. You need to give your clients in your programs, in your packages, in your services, in your products, an opportunity to apply what they're learning in real time. When people apply what they learn, they're much more likely to retain it. They're much more likely to change as a result of whatever they've been through, the content that they've practiced, the content that they've implemented. They're much more likely to retain it, and it really does create transformation for them. Most clients will say to you, I just want to make more money, or I just want to lose weight, or I just want to sell more, or I just, it's more. That's part of the solution, but the transformation is, if you make more money, what will you be able to do, right? If you sell more, what will that help you to create? If you want to lose weight, what will that create for you? What will that enable you to do once you lose the weight? If you want to get a promotion, what will that promotion mean for you in terms of your family and what you're able to provide? That's the transformation. The solution is part of it, but you've got to be able to know what that transformation is. And you find that out by talking to your ideal clients. You find out from them, what's it going to mean for you if you're able to accomplish this goal? If we move through this content, if we move through this program, if we move through this service, what will you be able to accomplish, or where would that take you on the other side? What would it mean for you? What will it mean for your family? The other thing is your solution is your program, service, or product. I keep saying that because I want you guys to understand your program, your service, your product, your package should not be something you develop in a vacuum. It's something that you must develop. You must focus on your most ideal client's problem or challenge in order to develop something that's rich, that is transformative, that really creates the change your client is seeking when your client comes to you for coaching. The other thing you need to know is the solution must be focused on the client. So if you're wondering what kind of exercises to add into your program, if you're wondering what kind of questions to ask as part of your program, if you're wondering, how you're going to move the client, you need to know the client well enough to know what motivates the client. You need to know what kind of exercises you want to incorporate, what kind of questions you ask. You need to make the program rich by focusing on exactly what the ideal client is needing from you to be in that program, right? To get to that finish line, to that solution, to that transformation your ideal client is seeking. The other thing is you want to know how to language the transformation. When you understand who your ideal client is, what her problem is, and what your solution is, then you can begin to, as I said earlier, gain clarity about the transformation she seeks. Then you get to language it in a way that lets her know you are the person that can help her, that can serve her, that can support her as part of that. Thinking about the solution, which is your program, and thinking about the transformation means that when you sit down, you talk about what it is you're going to do to serve and support your client. It means that you can actually say, here's the transformation that I can help you create. Here's the result that I can help you produce. And when you think about that result, being able to tell the story of that transformation. Maybe it's something you've been through before. Maybe it's something you've seen your clients experience before, but tell the story so that you can language the transformation in a way that resonates with the ideal client when she's reading your copy or glancing at your email or watching your video or listening to your audio. Whatever it is, make sure you're focused on that. The last thing I'm going to say is make sure that you language the transformation everywhere. I talked about video, audio, reading it, blog posts. I also want to make sure that you understand when you're guesting on podcasts or web TV shows, that you're showcasing your solution and the fact that you can deliver a transformation for your clients, right? When you language it on your sales pages, in your content, on your social media posts, blogs, videos, audios, everywhere, you're in a prime position to let the ideal client know exactly what you can do to serve and support her. Now, I love sharing this particular topic because coaching really is focused, it's intentional, it's deliberate, that you are working with your clients to solve problems. I did a digital marketing group coaching lab for my academy members last weekend. And one of the things that we talked about was making sure that you first understand what digital marketing is. It's more than just online marketing. It's not blanketing a particular platform with all of your content and hoping your ideal client sees it. Okay. It's getting clear about your ideal client, and based on who your ideal client is, creating content that really connects specifically to that ideal client, and then going to spaces and places, they call it channels in digital marketing, where you're going to connect with your ideal clients and be findable. I heard that from somebody else and I thought it was a really great word, so I borrowed it. Findable. It means that you are practicing client attraction. It means that you are, when they join your list, the client is segmented so you know exactly the kind of problem the ideal client is facing. You know exactly what's happening in the ideal client's world. When you see what's happening, when you hear what's happening, when you know and understand what's happening in your ideal client's world, then you can create a comprehensive solution that focuses on solving the problem, alleviating the pain, and moving them to the transformation that the ideal client seeks. So this has been a bonus episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. If you are catching the replay, go ahead and type #replay. Post your questions and comments, because I do go back over all the platforms to see what your questions or comments are. And if you miss anything, if you want to watch it or listen to it later, go to profitablecoachingconversations.com. We've got more than 90 episodes that are live, 40 something guest episodes, and then, the other 40 something are episodes with me sharing content just like this. I'm WendyY Bailey, and I am a 19-year veteran business and sales coach. And you've been tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with WendyY Bailey. Be sure that you join the society at the profitablecoachingsociety.com. It's a growing community of coaches, speakers, trainers, consultants who are in the place where we are talking about the episodes. We're also doing some networking, sharing best practices, and I'm sharing pretty solid content with them on how to sell and market themselves. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for another great episode. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Today, over 1 billion children in the world live in poverty. At Help Heal Humanity, our goal is to connect children in need with people like you who want to make a difference. Our student sponsorship program helps provide children with the necessities for a healthy and successful start to life. When you sponsor a student, you're not only giving them the gift of education, you're giving them the best chance for a brighter future. 100% of your donation supports the tuition fees, uniforms, textbook, and school supplies needed to thrive in a safe and healthy learning environment. Sponsor a student now and be the catalyst for their brighter future.